섬과 바다 여행의 필수 운송수단 바로 여객선입니다. 많게는 1000여 명까지 승선하는 여객선에서 사고가 발생할 경우 그로 인한 재산과 인명피해는 가늠할 수 없을 만큼 심각합니다. 갑자기 직면한 위기 상황에서 소중한 생명을 지키기 위해선 어떻게 해야 할까요?
The car ferry passenger ship A sailed the sea near Chuja Island. The car ferry A was sailing from Mokpo Port to Jeju with 280 passengers and crew members, as well as trucks and containers on board.
주자도에서 낚시한 지도 오래됐네요.
그래요? 그러면 이번 일 맞지만 함께 갈까요?
잘 됐네요. 낚싯대도 새로 샀는데.
These two people were excited thinking about their fishing trip. But a fire occurred on the car section deck A.
뭐지?
The helmsman who noticed the fire announced the incident by shouting and reporting it immediately.
A가판 차례구역에 불이 났습니다! A가판 차례구역에 불이 났습니다!
The first mate stopped the engine promptly.
불이 났다고? 당장 소형 배치시켜.
비상사태 발생! 비상사태 발생! A가판 차량구역 화재 발생! A가판 차량구역에 화재 발생! 전선원 수화 배치 끄덕! 전선원 수화 배치 끄덕!
That time, the first one who saw the fire tried to put it out using a fire extinguisher. At the same time, the third mate notified the maritime police and nearby ships, as well as the responsible safety management officer of the company, about the fire incident. At the same time, the engine room prevented the fire expansion by cutting off the power and ventilation.
선내에 알려드립니다. 현재 본선 A 갑판 차량 구역에서 화재가 발생하여 초기 진화 중입니다.
승객 여러분께서는 만약에 대비하여 구명 조끼를 들고 승무원의 안내에 따라 비상 소집 장소로 대피해 주시기 바랍니다. 지금 본선 승무원이
The captain and the crew members evacuated the passengers to the upper deck near the stem and asked them to wear life jackets to prepare for the abandoning of the ship. Unfortunately, the early fire suppression efforts turned out as a failure.
선장님, 차량구역 전반으로 화재가 확대되었습니다. 소하우스로 화재 진압을 시도하겠습니다.
The fire squad cooled the door and its surroundings and tried to enter into the site after checking the safety by sensing the fire heat. But the entry was difficult because of the toxic gases.
안 되겠습니다. 스프링클러를 작동합시다.
Unfortunately, the fire was not brought under control even with the use of the spring cooler.
불길이 안 잡힙니다. 어떻게 할까요?
스프링클러로도 불길이 잡히지 않는 카페리 여객선 A호. 과연 어떻게 될까요? 그 결말은 잠시 뒤에 만나보도록 하겠습니다. 화재 발생 시 외부의 도움 없이 자체 소방 설비만을 이용해 화재를 진압해야 하는데요. 장소별 화재 대응 요령 함께 알아보겠습니다.
If a fire occurs in the engine room engineers should first vacate the room and operate the fixed-type fire extinguisher. If a fire occurs in the passenger room or the restaurant, guide the passengers to go to the upper deck in the shortest time. If power supply was cut off, guide the passenger to escape by following the guide light and the luminous stickers. Guide the passengers to close their mouths with wet towels, etc., and escape while bending their backs as much as possible. If there is no firefighting equipment, operate the spring cooler immediately and do not try to forcefully put out the fire.
화재가 발생했을 때는 소화 설비를 신속히 그리고 효과적으로 사용해 화재를 진압해야 하는데요. 각종 소화 설비 사용 방법도 함께 확인해 보시죠.
The fire extinguishers for vessels largely include portable fire extinguishers and fixed-type fire extinguishers. The portable fire extinguisher includes foam fire extinguisher, CO2 fire extinguisher, and powder extinguisher. They all follow the same method of use. First, pull out the safety pin. Place the nozzle in the fire direction. Grab the lever and stand with the wind behind your back and spray it like you are sweeping with a broom. If a fire occurs in the engine room or a container hold, using the fixed-type fire extinguisher is more efficient. After opening the control box door, close all the openings, open one cylinder valve, and open number 1 and 2 valves. After that, the fire extinguisher should start working. The fire hydrant equipment supplies the water to all fire sites in the vessel, and it is composed of a fire hydrant with valves, fire hose, and nozzles. First, open the hydrant box and pull out the hose. Open the hydrant valve. Grab the nozzle firmly with both hands. And bring the hose to the fire site to put out the fire. After extinguishing the fire, close the hydrant valve. If a fire occurs, the inflow of the air outside should be blocked by preventing ventilation devices, such as a fan and a damper, from operating. If fan automatic ventilation device has been installed, you can block it by simply pressing the button. If you detect the fire before the spring cooler operates automatically, press the button in the spring cooler manual operation box to put out the fire quickly. When extinguishing the fire, wear the air respirator for your safety in accordance with the following methods. First, check the normal operation of the emergency valve, close the valve, and check the condition of the string attached to the respiratory hole. Hang the backpack attached to the container on the shoulder and pull the suspender fastening string with both hands to fix the backpack. Fasten the waist belt with both hands. Connect the fastening buckle and adjust it to fit the size. Connect the hose plug of the respirator with the coupling socket of the suspender. Place the chin end of the wearer at the end of the respirator and cover the head with the respirator strap. Pull the head adjusting string at the left and right side of the respirator and fasten it properly. Open the container valve completely and check the pressure indicator. Check the operation of the valve attached to the respirator and insert the fingers into the sides of the respirator to check the overpressure inside the respirator. After that, check if the air is released to the outside.
네, 소화설비 사용법 꼭 기억해둬야겠습니다. 자, 그런데 스프링쿨러로도 불길이 잡히지 않는 카페리 여객선 A호는 어떻게 되었을까요?
불길이 안 잡힙니다. 어떻게 할까요?
At last, it was decided to abandon the ship.
종원 대선부서 배치. 종원 대선부서 배치. 알려드립니다. 발생한 화재에 대해 비상조치를 했으나 부득이하게 대선을 결정했습니다. 유독가스가 많이 발생되고 있으니 최대한 연기를 흡입하지 않도록 유의하시며 승무원의 안내에 따라 대선에 임해 주시기 바랍니다.
The life raft crew dropped the life raft after installing the ladders. And the passengers boarded the rafts carefully based on how they were instructed.
신속하고도 일사불란한 대처로 승객과 선원 모두 목숨을 구할 수 있었습니다. 지금까지 보신 영상은 카페리 여객선의 퇴선이었는데요. 쾌속선의 경우 구명조끼의 위치와 집합 장소가 카페리 여객선과는 사뭇 다릅니다.
In a fast-sailing ship, life jackets are located under the seats. Guide the passengers to gather in a place after taking out the life jackets under the seats during an emergency gathering. The safety accidents can happen because the gathering place is limited to 1 or 2 places and the emergency exit is narrow. As such, guide the passengers to move while maintaining the order as much as possible. If there are patients, check their conditions and carry out proper emergency measures. If it is impossible to board the life rafts, ask for helicopter transportation.
구조 요청 신고 방법도 간단히 정리해 보겠습니다. 구조 요청을 할 때는 VHF나 휴대전화 등을 이용하여 선명, 선적항, 선박 번호, 승선원, 현재 위치, 현재 상황, 조치사항 등을 포함한 전반적인 내용을 차근차근 신고합니다. 앞서 보신 영상에서는 구명 뗏목도 투하되는데요. 구명 뗏목을 비롯해 다양한 구명 설비 작동법도 안내해 드리겠습니다.
Before getting in the water, wear a life jacket by following the instructions below. Wear a life jacket by putting both hands into the sleeves, similar when wearing an ordinary jacket. Fasten the chest string, the waist string, and the neck string tightly, and pull the life jacket from left to right and to the lower side to tighten it fit your own body. Use the life rafts by following the instructions below. Check if the connection string is fastened to the connection ring of the automatic release device. Remove the safety pin and the life raft dropping handle. Pull the dropping handle and drop the life raft to the water surface. Pull the connection string until the lifeboat is expanded and board the raft using a ladder, ropes, etc. After boarding, cut the connection string using a knife. Move to safer places quickly by rowing the raft and install the anchor or the drogue. Use the lifeboat by following the instructions below. First, remove the securing rope. Remove the davit arm stopper and the handbrake lever safety pin and board the lifeboat. Separate the battery charge connection line. Close the drain plug and fasten the safety belts after seating on the designated seat. Close all entrances. Turn on battery switch. And start the engine. Slowly drop the lifeboat by pulling the remote control rope after checking the conditions of all passengers and go down to the sea surface. Remove the safety pin. Operate the separation lever and separate the stem painter. Get out of the danger zone using the engine and steering gear.
네, 지금까지 여객선에서의 화재 진압과 태선 방법을 알아봤습니다. 앞서 보신 영상에서처럼 신속히 그리고 차근차근 대응한다면 그 어떤 위기 상황에서도 여러분과 승객의 안전을 지켜낼 수 있습니다.